So today I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely stunning door or window, whatever you want to call it. And you need a strong page there and a strong page on the other side, and then this is 4 pages, so 2 lots of 2 stuck together. Piece of acetate, gesso, and some matte medium or glue to glue down your pieces. I put my piece of acetate through a embossing machine to get that pattern in there, and then put alcohol ink on it. Alright, let's get on with it. Okay, so I've got my altered book here, and this is the last thing I made with you, which is my fixed window. So the window doesn't open or close, it's just there, and that image is in between those pages. And I mentioned I wanted to make an opening window or an opening door in my book, so I'll be using this page. This will be my door window, and this page, and I'm going to cut out my window from there, and I'm going to use a piece of acetate to be my window. But what I want to do with this acetate before anything else, and I've never tried this before, I think other people have done it, is I want to run it through an embossing machine. So I don't have a great range of embossing folders, so it's either this one or this one. So what I'm going to do is just do both of them and see which one I like the best. I'm not worried about the imperfections that are on this piece of acetate, because it's been around the block a couple of times by the look of it. And it's quite a thick piece too, so I should be able to get the 2 of them out of that. Yep, that works out well. And what I'm going to also try is, this is a what do you call it? Acetate that you can print on with a inkjet printer. So if you want to buy some, just Google it. I think I probably got it off eBay or somewhere like that. Alright, now I need to make up my mind which one I'm going to use, and I don't like the design on this one as much as I like the text. I might be using that one. I'll use that for something else. But I do like, I like the text. I prefer the oblong shape of this. So these are the pages. I just put a paper clip in them. So they're the pages that I'll be using. So this will be the swinging window or door. So if I use this, yeah, I guess I can cut it down to a rectangle, so that'll be fine. So I think I'll use this one, but I'll keep this one handy because I'm likely to change my mind. And what I need to do is to prepare these pages, because these are going to be seen. That side, that side, that side, and that side. The inside pages don't need to do anything else to them. They're already 2 pages thick, these here. This is left over, just the overhang from this page. And I'm just going to glue it down properly, and that'll be the start of my under papers. So I've got a little bowl here. Look, I got this from the recycling shop out at the refuge station. It's a polite way of saying it. The rubbish dump. I went out there to get some books, and I saw that and I thought, yes, I like that. I was going to use it for a salad bowl, but it's got a crack in it. So yeah, so I actually paid $5 for it. I probably should have only paid about $1, given that it's cracked, but anyway, we've got it now. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly cover these 4 pages with collage, and then I will paint and gesso over the top of them. So if you're going to work along with me, you've got this page here and this page need to be decorated. the next 2 pages here are where the window's going to be, and those inside pages don't need to be anything done to them, and these pages here need to be decorated. And let me just put a clip here. And as you can see, this book hasn't had the pages taken out of it properly. I know that. This is something I started some time ago, probably at least a couple of years. I didn't know how to do it, and I just randomly pulled pages out of this book, and so you get these horrible big chunks. It's not the right type of book either, so you're better off using a book with stitching, stitched signatures, so you don't get these pieces of page left over. But I'll show you all that in another video. I recently had a big clean up, and I found this book, and it had a good start at the front, what I thought was a good start. So it was going to be just a cut out book with this sort of thing going on all the way through, but rather than totally discarding it, I thought, well, I'll get it out and I'll do something with it. And so I have. I thought by getting as many pages done in one hit as I can, that'll finish it off quickly, and then I can work on doing something the right way. Okay, so I'm just going to go on with this, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so these pages are now covered in papers to strengthen them up and provide a bit of texture in the background there. So it's really wet at the moment. So while it's still wet, I want to cover it in gesso, but I'm going to use black gesso this time. So this is Byron black gesso. Got it from Eckersley's in Australia. So I think it's their own brand. I'm not sure. It's not very expensive. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to paint this all. I love the black gesso, I really do. It's just really nice. Well, people probably don't like it, but this is what I'm using. You do what you want to do if you're making this with me. But back in frame. So it's a lovely warm day today, and I'm going to put this out in the sun to dry, and then I'll start thinking about adding some other bits and pieces to these 2 pages. I'm not really worrying about the gesso getting on the edges of the other pages, and I do have some bits of my collaged paper that I do need to tear off. It doesn't have to be done right now. I'm going to put a piece of greaseproof paper in there while I paint this. So what I'll do when the book goes outside to dry is I'll stand it up so that the pages are hanging open and the air can circulate, and that'll make it dry faster. I think it actually dries better than using a heat tool of any sort. Like, I've got a hairdryer that I use, but I think when you've got so much moisture, so we've got all the matte medium gluing the bits of paper, the underpapers on, so there's all that moisture, and then there's the moisture from the gesso. So I think the sun will shine it. The sun will shine it. The sun will dry it much faster and effectively, that's the word, than using a hairdryer or a heat gun, which is really only going to dry the surface, the top surface, and then inside is still going to be wet, which I found out several times when I was doing my other bits, my other pages. Okay, so that just needs to be a rough coat, and that's preparing that for everything else that's going to go on. So I'm going to take that outside now. That might have no, it's stuck a bit. Oh dear. Oh, it's just extra texture. Let me just see if I can spread that around. I should have gone and got a piece of baking paper. I thought the greaseproof would do the same thing, but clearly it doesn't. That's alright. I'm going to be putting another layer of collage on top anyway. So let's take this outside. Pages are nice and dry now. So what I want to do next is to add some colour to this. And I have, so I'll be doing it on this page, this and this. So I cut some strips or tore some strips out of a free magazine, all different colours. So I'm going to go through and do like a bit of a patchwork, but I won't be covering the entire page with these pieces of paper. I'm just clipping that there because the page wants to curl up. So once again, I'm going to use matte gel medium and just glue pieces on. What I will then do is cover it in gesso, and then I will dry it. So it'll be white gesso this time, and I'll be drying it off and then sandpapering it back. So it will, you'll see little specks of the colour in the background. So this is a magazine. This one is just a free magazine that they have at the supermarket. Every 3 months they put out, and like there's one for each season. So I thought the paper's nice and thin, and I'll use some of that. So that's about how much of the page I'll cover up. So I'm just going to crack on and do that. Okay, so I've got my pages with my papers on there. So what I want to do now is to put gesso on them. Then they go back out in the sun to dry. I have my white gesso, and I'm going to use my card just to spread the gesso over these pages. And my intention was to sandpaper them when the gesso is dry and all the glue and everything underneath is dry. I might not need to do that because gesso does dry a little bit translucent, and I can see bits of the colour coming through already, but we'll see. It gives a lovely effect, the sandpaper. It just adds a patina that I just really like it. Okay, so now I have to put that down there and do this page. It's definitely easier when you're only doing one at a time. I'll try not to squish that other page too much. I probably should have done this one first, and I wouldn't have been putting the pressure onto the other page. Right, I'm going to take this outside, put it in the sun again. Everything's dry now, so I'm going to sand this back a little bit, and then I'm going to put a wash on it. I've already marked out where I'm going to put my window, and I'm thinking I'm not going to do this page. I'm just going to do these ones, and I'll save that other one for another day. Oh yeah, well that's what I'm planning on. I could change my mind again. So just sticking down that loose bit there. Just got a little Kaisercraft sanding block here. It's got 2 fine and 2 rough sides on it. So I just want to very gently. Oh, there's another bit coming up. if you're doing this and you have pieces come up like that, you can just tear it off, or you can glue it back down. And it won't matter too much. I think some of it's going to be, especially on this page, is going to be on the window anyway. So it's only really light sand. And over on this page got a little bit more gesso on it than the other one. So I hope that's not making the camera wobble too much. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to put a wash on it. Now what I've done with my window is I have coloured it with alcohol ink. So I want something that's going to complement the alcohol ink or be in total contrast with it. So maybe aqua, turquoise or something like that would be a good colour. Got a couple of colours here which are very similar to each other. One is tropical blue and the other one is Bora Bora. So I think I'll use this one only because that's a new jar. The other one, this will get rid of, we'll use up what's left in the thing, not get rid of it. Sounds like I don't want it. Okay, so I'm just going to mix up some paint, a wash. It's really watery. Oh, okay, don't shake your bottles when the lids aren't on. Okay, let's get back in frame. I just shook painting medium all over the place. It's going to be really runny. I'll just pop this over here so you can see it. So, watery as, but because I'm putting the painting medium in there, it's protecting the colour, you know, and the paint's not going to fall apart because it's got the painting medium in there to hold it together. Yeah, I don't mind that colour. It's not very turquoisey though, is it? What's it look like next to that? It's not too bad. Might need more than one coat. One thing about using the black gesso right at the beginning is you've got a black outline around your page without even have to make one. Okay, so I'm going to dry that with my hairdryer, and then I think I might give it another coat. So that dried pretty quickly because that paint's quite thin. Okay, so let's put another coat on, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the page because most of this page is going to be cut away anyway. So, but this piece that I cut out will be used to make tags or a journaling card or something like that. So it's not being wasted. I think that looks pretty good. Dry that again. It's dry, and I'm going to paint this one. And I've been thinking that I won't do anything on this page. I'll do it in another video. Okay, so I've got that bit of paint left over, so I'm just going to smush it onto here and then dry it off. I've got to put a tab on this page like I did with the other one. So I've got a whole container of those things that I made. This one I've cut down. It's already got an eyelet on it. Okay, so that was the biggest that I want my window to be. So I should have done that on the other side. So if I get this here, and which way is going to work? I think it'll work better if I cut from this side. The page is lying up a bit better. So I just used a template, a postcard as a template, but I need it to be smaller, otherwise it won't stay in there, or will it? Oh no, we've got plenty of wriggle room. Okay, so I'm just going to draw that on here. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting through there with this little doobalaki. So I'm just going to line my ruler up along there. I'm not trying to make a rounded corner on this. It's going to be a straight corner. Okay, so that one's through. Let's go over here. Oh, this is so sticky, this book. I'll just put some wax on it to take the stickiness off it. Alright, so I got two beautiful pieces of paper to make into journaling cards or tags. Okay, so we're at the installation part of the deal. Bring in the window. So I'm going to have the raised, the raised side on the outside. Oh, that looks luscious. I really like that. That's beautiful. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to get that tab in here as well, I'm going to take that little bit of ribbon off. It's annoying me. Just going to glue that on there. I want it to stay behind, out of sight. Now I'm going to, should I glue this down to begin with, or should I just tape? I'm going to tape it. Just going to use some of this paper tape to hold it in place. It's not going to be seen. Well, if I leave it hanging out like that though, won't it? That's just to keep everything in the place while I get the glue on. Let's just put some glue in there first. I've got some super power PVA glue. I'm hoping it's going to be a bit like Alien's tacky glue. It is in that it won't come out just like that glue does. Okay, so glue along there, along that edge, down here. Oops. I might as well go all over that. And press that in place. I don't want that to come out over the window, so I'm going to squeeze it back this way. So I'm going to have to clip this until it dries. Oh, look at this. And I think I'm going to get that out with a brush. I'll start over this side. Piece of paper there. I'm going to get right to the edges. This is what by having the piece of paper underneath, you're not holding back with your glue. You can get right to the edge without worrying about getting it on anything else. I tell you, sometimes I get really lazy and I don't do that, and then it's regrettable because later on you find that your edges haven't glued down properly and so on and so forth. Get some right down in there. Here. Just be double sure. I'm going to bring that over. Oh, you know, I'm absolutely loving this. I'm so glad I decided to do it. But you know what I should have done? I should have done the black around that before I glued it. But never mind. Okay. Alright, I'm going to get the stabilo and do the edges. I'm going to use my favourite little fat one. It's a Stabilo Woody. A bit wonky. It's alright. Now I'm just going to put some moisture onto this cloth and use that to activate the stabilo. Well, actually it's wiping it all off. Okay, go back here, replace that. I'll put more water on there and I'll just put my finger on the water. And I want to sort of pull it inwards to get that nice vignette. So I remove a little bit. Okay, so I need to put a weight on that book. I was going to clip it down, but I'm going to put a weight on it instead. Leave it and come back and have a look at it when everything is dry. I am so pleased with the way this has turned out. I cannot tell you. I just love it. Just putting a little piece of, well, I think it came from Di, from My Enchanted Journals. Piece of her rust dyed fabric by the look of it. She's been torn into a shred. Okay, so we're not quite stuck down there. I couldn't wait to show you. Look at that. Now let me show you something. I'll find something to put behind there. So can you imagine that was on the other page and you can see through it? It's just I don't know if I can get it so you can, there's my hand. Whoops, there's my hand. Can you see that? I'm so happy with this. And now I can't wait to do this page. I do need to go around this with the black stabilo as well, but I'm not going to do it today. You're probably sick of the sound of my voice, so I'll just leave this to dry. I'm going to put the weights back onto it. And I might even put it out in the sun. We've still got a couple of hours of sunshine left, so it might be an idea to pop that out there. And I'll see you for the next one. So let me know in the comments what you think. I just love this. You know what? I can't wait till I've finished it off and I can put the poor little thing away, because it was a very unloved book until I found it again just recently. And it nearly ended up in the bin. But I can't wait to do the cover and just restore its beauty. And so thank you very much for watching. And if you make one, let me know how it turns out. And my email address is in my channel's about page. So if you ever want to send me a photo of the work you've done, I'd love to receive it, because I'm just here to, well, I'm learning. And I hope that I can inspire you and that you might learn something from me in my learning process. And maybe it's only what not to do. So that seems to be my special subject. Alright, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment, even if it's just a heart. Alright, see you next time. Hooroo. I forgot to say, hugs and cheers from Australia. Hooroo. Bye.